Most people wouldn't expect a horse and a dog to become best friends. I didn't either. In fact, I actively tried to keep them apart at first. I was afraid they might hurt each other. Athena is massive, easily over 1,000 pounds. And Nova, well, she's small, quick, and impulsive. It just didn't seem like a safe combination. But Nova had other plans. And it turns out, sometimes animals know exactly what they need, better than we do. Every single morning, Nova sprints out the door like her life depends on it. Her tail spins in fast, wide circles. Her body wiggles all over, and her eyes are locked on one thing, Athena. She runs to her like a kid to her favorite teacher, full of joy and urgency. And when she reaches her, she leaps up and smothers Athena's face with kisses, nose, cheek, muzzle, wherever she can reach. And the most incredible part, Athena lowers her head, closes her eyes, and stands there, perfectly still, letting it happen. She doesn't flinch, doesn't pull away. She just soaks it in, as if Nova's love is exactly what she was waiting for. That greeting ritual plays out every single day. Rain or shine, winter or summer, they never miss it. And the way they light up at the sight of each other, it never gets old. It still catches me off guard, honestly, because their friendship was the last thing I'd ever expected. When we first moved out to the countryside, I had this dream of building a small animal sanctuary. Not official, not huge, just a home where creatures could live happily and freely. We had the space. The land was peaceful. It felt right. I always imagined the animals would find their rhythms with each other, but I never imagined a dog and a horse would form the strongest bond on the property. Nova was our second dog. She's always been curious about everything. Rabbits, birds, even butterflies. She tries to befriend anything that moves. Sometimes that works out. Sometimes, not so much. She doesn't always think things through. That's part of her charm, and also part of why I was nervous about her being around Athena. Athena, on the other hand, is grace and patience incarnate. She came to us from a neighbor who could no longer care for her, and we agreed to take her in. She's calm, elegant, and still somehow a little lonely. She had lost a few companions in the past, and though she never acted sad, there was a quietness about her that lingered. Nova noticed it too. For days, she stood at the edge of Athena's paddock, just watching, tail wagging, whining softly. I tried to redirect her, but she always found her way back. Eventually, I gave in, mostly because Nova's persistence could outlast the sun. But I introduced them slowly, carefully. I held my breath the first time she slipped under the fence rail and crept toward Athena with a tentative step. Her ears were pinned back, and for once, she actually looked nervous. Athena turned her head slowly, eyes calm and curious. And then, something remarkable happened. She bent down just slightly, as if to meet Nova halfway, and let her get close. No flinching, no startled movement. Just calm presence. From that moment on, something shifted. They've been inseparable ever since. Nova brings her toys to Athena now. Squeaky balls, frayed ropes, even a plastic ring she once buried and forgot about. She drops them at Athena's hooves with pride, tail wagging, and waits. Of course, Athena doesn't know what to do with them, but she humors Nova anyway. She'll nudge the toy gently, or just let it sit there as Nova prances around like she's accomplished something incredible. It doesn't matter that they play differently. What matters is that they choose to be together, that they seek each other out, not because they're the same, but because they feel safe, seen, loved. There's something so healing about watching them, especially on days when the world feels too heavy. I've seen neighbors cry watching them nuzzle each other through the fence. One woman told me it reminded her of the bond she used to have with her childhood pony. Another said it gave her hope, because if a dog and a horse could find that kind of friendship, maybe we all still had a chance. And I get it. Their bond isn't just sweet. It's powerful. It cuts through cynicism. It reminds us that connection doesn't need to make sense to be real. Sometimes, the deepest relationships come from the most unexpected places. There are so many animals like Athena and Nova out there, eager to connect, to belong, to love, but they need a chance, a safe space, a little bit of patience, and someone who believes in them enough to let the magic unfold. If their story touched you, I hope you'll share it with friends, with family, with anyone who needs a reminder of what's still good in the world. And if you're in a position to help, whether by donating to a local rescue, supporting a sanctuary, or adopting an animal in need, please consider it. Every little act of kindness can create ripples we'll never fully see. If you'd like to follow more stories like Nova and Athena's, stories that celebrate real love, unexpected friendship, and the beauty of animals, subscribe to our channel. Leave a comment and tell us about your own pets and the bonds they've built. You never know how much one shared moment can inspire someone else. In the end, what Nova and Athena have isn't just friendship. It's a lesson, a living, breathing reminder that love doesn't have to look like we expect. It just has to be real. And in the quiet corners of our backyard, between a dog and a horse, it is, every single day.